Hello guys, and welcome to another chapter in how to build in Minecraft with Rusty. In today's episode we are going to be talking about planning, probably the most important thing that you can ever do in Minecraft. So if you don't watch any other of my videos on this series, you should at least watch this one. So planning requires you, if you are playing in survival, to get some wool. And the reason why we use wool is because wool with shears is pretty easy to get rid of, and it really stands out. So we're really looking for these bright colors to be able to put together a build, and then we basically place them down, rip them back up again when we're ready to actually make the real build, and go from there. But in the real world, the real Minecraft survival world, when we plan, we want to plan in our survival world, it's not going to be flat like this. There's going to be all sorts of bumps and different things that we have to deal with. And we'll talk about that actually in depth in the first chapter of section 2. But for the purpose of this, I want to give you guys a general outline of how you can plan. So I've got a couple different types of wool here, and it really doesn't matter what the color means as long as it means something to you. So when we make a build, it's obviously pretty easy, like we did last time, where we're putting out an outline and seeing how the build might be outlined in the area. Planning in general really works well when you're dealing with multiple buildings. We've got a basic outline of our building, but we got to do something really important. We're going to sort of highlight this main portion, because this is going to be where our highest roof is at. Aha! Now, do you guys see we've got something a little bit wonky happening there? I put that in the corner because I thought that that's where the corner piece was. It turns out it's right here. So now if we want to put these posts here, that might look a little bit funny when we get there. Everything could change, that's fine, but right now we're just getting the outline down. And then this basically gives us our general idea that this is the middle part that's tall and the rest of it is where it's at. So now we're going to go back to the sort of last episode, talk about scale. So this is the sort of the ground floor. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe 5 is where we're going to have, as far as in here, if this is the floor. Yep, that seems like it. And then, so this is the ceiling, this is the floor. We're planning for the ceiling and floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the tallest that we wanted. Now we've got a basic outline of what our building is going to look like. And you guys can see that if we come back down here, as big as this build is, this inside looks pretty small. And so it's our job at this point to figure out how we're going to deal with different things. That's probably the amount of space that will be there, so this will be fine. We'll put the staircase here because we won't have windows into the shed. And then we can say maybe we can have like a chimney here. Maybe we'll put it maybe right here. We're starting to see it come together. And you can build this. Still is kind of a small scale, but we're planning it now, and we know that our kitchen is going to go here, so this is going to give us a little extra room by putting in the chimney, and then we can sort of put different things here. This could be a dining room space, depending on what you want it to be, and then upstairs we're going to have to understand how the planning is going to work, because as we build this up, this is how much space we're gonna have, is just in this middle part, because we've got the roof here, but we're not gonna be able to do much when the roof is like that. So this space is basically dead space there. Okay, so I think I've outlined sort of the flooring plan of this, because I want to show you guys how easy it is to take a house that looks like this and think that it's actually a good size, and it's not. So here, we on the inside got this little tiny space here. We've made a the chimney for the kitchen, kind of expanded. But when we go upstairs, we've got stairs here. This room is open, and we're probably gonna have, you know, like fences here, or a wall even. And so we've got a little storage area here, maybe. This is why it's important to plan out your builds. If you get to that point and you're starting to do interior decorating and you're like, oh, what do? I don't have enough room. So this is why a story is important. Because if we have a story behind it, then sure, this could make sense. This could work. This house works fine. It's not bad at all. But I just wanted to highlight the point that if you're expecting to do something, but you get to this point, you've planned it all out, and it's not working out, at this point, one, we're in creative mode, so we can just quickly get rid of it, and two, we haven't wasted actual materials and pickaxes and all sorts of stuff in the real world, so we can literally get rid of this pretty easily, and it just wastes 2 iron at that point. You have to use all these different wool colors. Some people do, some people don't. I think a wool color thing is kind of up to interpretation to you, whatever works best for you. It took me maybe 15 minutes to make this house, and now we have an idea that maybe it needs to be a little bit bigger, so I might make another rendition of this if it's, you know, fits with what I want. We have an idea of what we want for the roof, for the different rooms, and what it's gonna look like when it's all put together. So now we just need to pick a palette, and we just need to, you know, make it on your own, take some time, and make some buildings that you want to make in creative, by planning them out. So plan out, if you have a castle build that you want to do, plan out that castle build. If you have a just general starter house on a new server that you're planning on joining, then plan that out. And after you do the planning, right next to it, right over here, we could basically go back and forth and make the actual house that we want to make. Next episode is going to be the final exam, basically. So I'm going to actually turn this house into a real house. And we're going to go through that whole process step by step, highlighting each thing. So it'll be a little bit longer than the 10-minute episode that we usually do. And basically, yeah, we're just going to be making the different pieces and parts of the different house, and talking about the palette, talking about the depth, talking about all that stuff. And we're going to build it right over here. And then in the next section, we're going to start to come out of creative and go into a real Minecraft world and start to talk about all of the different elements that come into play when you're actually trying to really create a build. So stay tuned for that section. It's going to be a big section, really mostly focused on the exteriors. But for this section, I wanted to stay mostly focused in creative on a flat world, because it just makes it a little bit easier. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like on it for me. Helps me out a lot. And if you really, really enjoyed, consider hitting that subscribe button if you feel I've earned it. So, until next time guys, happy mining and crafting.